Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Void Build-A-Figure Wave Black Panther. I am gushing over this figure. I'm going to be non-stop gushing about this figure the entire video. If you watched the Black Panther video from the Wakanda Forever wave, that figure, you know, the Vulcan body is absolutely beautiful. I think it works for Black Panther. I love it personally. But this figure is doubly special. So it's just like the Toy Biz one that came out, you know, the black and gold Toy Biz version of Black Panther. That figure was and still is a grail of mine, and I really want to get that at some point in my life. But having a Hasbro one of it, like, to go with all the other versions of, you know, the updated versions of characters that we have, I think is just so cool. Like, if I real quick just bring in, he is customized a little bit, but the Ultimate Captain America, which was my first Toy Biz figure, other than Bullseye, actually. Bullseye was my first Toy Biz Marvel Legends figure, but the Ultimate Captain America was my first one of knowing what Marvel was that I bought. So having these two together is so, so cool. And that's why I have been campaigning so much for them to give us the modern armor look for, you know, the modern armor Iron Man suit, which is what they called it back then. Because having all of the Toy Biz ones that I always wanted or I had as a kid and still have, but in Hasbro form, having like the then and now versions of these characters is just so exciting to me. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into what T'Challa comes with. And on him currently, you can see he has the open hands that have the gold claws, which look really beautiful. I love the gold that they used on this. The things on his arms, I push them up. I may glue them down, but they are separate. So technically speaking, you can include those as accessories if you wanted. But then he also comes with a pair of fists, which these are the exact same fists that we got with the Wakanda Forever wave comic Black Panther. They're just in black. And pretty much that's the entirety of this figure, is like his boots and his hands and gauntlets are those, you know, exact pieces from the Wakanda Forever figure. They just are now cast in black instead. And then only new pieces, I think the entire torso is new, because there's actually a hole and this is ported and plugged and glued into here, which is unfortunate because I would have loved to have taken this off just to see what it would look like. But I think I might just get a cloth cape, honestly, and put that on there because I feel like this figure deserves a cloth cape. The one that's on here, it's not bad. It is kind of a harder plastic though, which is not something we've seen in a while, I feel like, especially from Hasbro. But it's not bad by any means, I don't think. And hell, you probably could even mod it if you wanted to and like leave the collar on and leave the sort of necklace thing on and then just take the back cape from the original figure and cut that and glue it on there. And I think that could probably look cool too if you wanted to try and do that. But the belt piece is also, I don't know if it's necessarily glued to the figure, but it's either glued or it's stuck in there like the Bucky was from the Walmart exclusive Captain America Bucky that we got last year, where it was like kind of ported between the torso and the midsection. I think it's glued though, but don't hold me to that. I just haven't, you know, I don't want to go prying on it and end up popping something off. But this figure is absolutely beautiful. I obviously am very biased when it comes to this design because, like I said, the Toy Biz one is a huge grail for me that I still want to get at some point. But I do have my gripes with this figure. And I would say 3 major gripes, and 2 of which can be fixed easily. And the other one may take some fiddling. Like I said, the cape, that is the one that might take some fiddling just because of the fact that it's plugged and glued into the chest. I would have loved to be able to take this off and just see how he would look. I feel like he would look very menacing and very cool. Just, you know, putting some glue on the armbands if I wanted to do that. But then the head is actually where my issue lies with the figure. The only thing that's actually making me a little annoyed, they put a sort of gold sheen around the eyes too, so they look like they're glowing. And I appreciate the effort and all that stuff, and I think it looks fine. It's just, it's not my mind's eye because I'm so used to the Toy Biz one that I feel like I'm just going to take some black and put it around the eyes just so it's just the eyes and that they don't give off the entire effect of glowing, but they still are very noticeable and prominent. And then detail-wise, I mean, pretty much we've already talked about everything. The entire figure is nothing but cast in the black plastic, and then we got the gold paint on the eyes and the gold paint on the claws, but everything else is, you know, cast in the color that it is, and then we have the red dot actually on his necklace, or gem, or whatever it is. It's an easy repaint with a few extra pieces, and I think it works perfectly for what it needs to be. And now let's take a look at his articulation. If you've seen that video or have a Vulcan figure, you know exactly what you're getting with this, but his head can go up that far, which is really good for those crouching poses. Can go down pretty much all the way, which is really nice. No real tilt, but a tiny little bit. He's got rotation, of course. His arms go out and up that far, which is really good. He's got butterfly joints, so they can go across. You could definitely do the mod and get more out of it, but not bad. Can go back a little bit, but they do run into the cape back here. His arm can, of course, go 360, but it will run into the cape as well. He's got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go back and up that far, which is really good. You know, standard hinges back and forth for the arms, or for the hands, both sets of hands as well. His torso can go that far forward, pretty solid. Can go that far back. Like I said, though, we'll run into the cape a little bit, and you just got to catch it at the right angle. Otherwise, you know, it might cause some issues. He's got swivel at the waist as well. His legs go out that far. Can go that far forward and that far back. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that go back. Mine are a little stiff on here, but can go back pretty much all the way. You could definitely finagle it a little bit too if you wanted. He's got boot swivel. Feet can go up that far, back that far, and of course, ankle pivot. And now on to some size comparisons. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Ant-Man, the Target exclusive one that came out last year, and then the Vision from this Void Build-A-Figure as well. And which is also on the Vulcan body, and I think these three look great together. I love me some classic looking Avengers. I love it so much. These three look so good together. And then here he's next to the Marvel Legends Black Widow, and then the Ultimate Captain America, and I think these three look great together as well. I definitely want to do some photography with this Black Widow and Black Panther. I like the black and gold between the two of them, and then also they have both the splash of red, because he's got the little bit for the center of his necklace, and then of course Nat has some for her symbol as well as her hair, and I think that there could be some cool photography with that. Overall, though, you know pretty much exactly what you're getting with this figure, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the Vulcan body is a great body mold. The Black Panther, you know, one we have from before was a great figure. I say was, it is a great figure. I just don't have one anymore because I customized a couple of them. But I'm so glad now that I have this one instead, because this is going to be my main display Black Panther. Like I said, and I've said this entire video, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing it, I love the look of that Toy Biz one, and I'm so happy to have this as either, you know, to go with my Avengers and my homage to Toy Biz display of figures. I love this figure, and the only thing that I think I'm really going to change is just painting around the eyes to get rid of that little bit of like a glowing effect that they had, and then probably getting a cloth cape, because I like this cape on here. It just, you know, it's not as dynamic as it could be. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.